Prosecution says she poisoned her husband. The defense says the evidence tells a very different story. I'm Bob Mata. This is the Kouri Richins trial. This is day 3 on Defense Diaries. Hello, party people. Good morning, beautiful humans, and welcome to Defense Diaries. I'm Bob Mata, your host, and this is day 3 of the Kouri Richins trial. We're plugging along. We had a couple of days of, I wouldn't call it scintillating testimony, but necessary testimony. We obviously had our proof of life, proof of death witnesses come on, and I anticipate today is going to be the day that we really start digging into the evidence against Miss Kouri Richins. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I want to do a poll. I'm going to do a poll right now. So I want to see where y'all at right now. Where we stand with the evidence that's been admitted thus far, which granted is not a lot, but I'd like to see where your head's at, generally speaking. So I expect everyone to vote. If you don't vote, you're going to be in big trouble. And before I forget, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you really love us, think about becoming a member. That means an awful lot to us. So the better half is over there plugging away with Colin Gray. Oh, there's our guy. There's our guy. There's our guy. Everybody's favorite judge in the world. There's our guy. We all love him. We all love him. I know you guys are all just madly in love with him like I am. I know it's true. I know it's true. All right, let me get this poll started. Let me see what's what. It's going to be simple. And I'm asking your opinion, not what the jury's going to do. Because those are two different things, right? What you think and then what you think the jury is going to do. Two completely different things. So this is going to be what you think right now, where we sit in this case. All right, let me get into here. Pop right in. Oh, there's me talking. Wow. All right. Start a poll. Okay, right now. Yeah. I know there's some heavy duty guilters here with the Kouri Richins trial. I'm only going to say I'm mildly disappointed. You guys know because look, we're allowed to have feelings. I have feelings on cases all the time prior to the evidence coming in. I think a case will lean guilty, lean innocent, or not guilty rather. And look, there's no shame in that. However, you know the rule. The rule is that we have to wait until all the evidence comes in before we reach a final conclusion. Obviously, people are coming in with a bias. I've done it a long time. I'm aware people come into court with the bias. It's what we're fighting hardest against during voir dire. So yeah. Right, exactly, Kaylee. We know the rule, blah, 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 blah. All right, let me get this thing. So this is, as of right now, what we've seen, which is basically openings, which is not evidence. And we've got, a pretty limited amount of evidence. We did get some interesting evidence yesterday through the ME. All right. Fentanyl, definitely the cause. How did it get in them? That's the $1 million question. That is the question that needs to be answered by the state, and they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. That's where this thing gets interesting, because it's going to have to be all of the other circumstantial evidence that leads people down the path. Well, this shit's this shit that she's doing is just too hard to ignore. It only makes sense coincidences aren't a thing, and we're finding her guilty based on that circumstantial evidence. That's what it's going to be. It's what it's going to have to be. All right. So the poll is up as of right now. And we'll check back. We'll check back on it. I'll screen grab it when we're done. So everybody vote. Don't be shy. It's just like you going into the voting booth. It's anonymous. I'm never going to know. I'm never going to know. And I wouldn't give a shit either way. Everybody is allowed their own opinion. I encourage spirited debate. You guys know all this. All right. So we are live. I've not missed one moment. Yeah, looks like Todd Click's trial was delayed again. It looks like it got pushed until, not because of Todd Click, it's the state. They're not turning things over in old Todd Click's case, which is irritating. Namely, phone records, which prove their case. And I'm talking about the state, their alleged case. So, yeah, I think that got pushed into July, maybe end July. Still have not gotten a firm trial date on Aaron Spencer. That case is always forefront in my mind. That is a case that obviously Allison and I will be traveling down to Arkansas again to cover the trial. It is, from all indications, it's not going to be streamed. There was some hope with the new judge. The banner is wrong. My God, thank you. Let me pull that off. It's old. Oh yeah, Colin Gray. That is wrong. That's really, really wrong. Wrong case, like entirely. All right. So for us, I'll get my thing ready to go. Get this guy going. Make a little changey poo here. And we still have Chelsea Gibson on the stand. So everything as far as this banner is accurate. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It probably would have taken me a good 20, 25 minutes before I realized that the banner was completely inaccurate. Talking about a completely different case. So, all right, let me check. I'm going to check the early returns on the guilty. So we have 133 votes in currently. We stand at 72% guilty, 28% not guilty. All right. All right. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. If I were to give you a tad bit of pushback. Now, this is hard to do where I can't actually talk to you, but you can talk to me via the chat. Now, are you basing your feelings of the fact that you believe that Kouri's guilty on everything that you've heard leading up to this without the evidence being challenged? Or are you basing it on the evidence that we've seen in the trial? I have a sneaking suspicion that it's based on the on the former rather than the latter. I think that you're basing it on everything that you've heard that has not been challenged. This is state theories, right? Which is, like I said, it's par for the course. It's par for the course. It is very much how human beings operate, especially in courts of law. So it sounds like over on the other trial that we were covering that the state is very, very close to wrapping. And yeah, I think that I asked Allie, I'm like, state meet its burden. She's like, oh yeah. Oh, I guess yesterday was a pretty devastating day of evidence. I know that. Let's see. So Tehav says, I got to know if this is what I came in thinking or currently think. Well, currently. That's why I put right now. I'm always asking in terms of evidence that we've seen in the case. I'm never asking. If we're like, everybody should have came like walking into this trial believing that she was guilty because all the shit that we've seen, including on our channel. all the things that we've seen about the unchallenged theory of the state. I mean, that theory has legs, tracks, So, I mean, that's what happens when the state has their theory out there and it goes unchecked prior to trial. I mean, the two cases where the defense came out with what their defense is going to be prior to trial. And look at what happened there in terms of the split. Obviously, I'm talking about Reed and Allen. Those are two cases where the very unusual thing happened, which is where the defense reveals the one secret that they could keep up their sleeve, which is their theory of defense. And in both those cases, they put it out there. And the public, some of them found the theory to be ridiculous. Some found it to be, oh my God, this person's innocent, not guilty. So, in this case, that didn't really happen so much. I mean, there was certainly heavy duty battles pre-trial. Epic, really. This was a well litigated case from the beginning and highly litigated. Let's make sure we're still good here. I mean, we've gone through some of the things. You watched some of the litigation during lunch yesterday. I made a terrible mistake yesterday. Instead of just putting you guys over into Allie's stream of the Gray trial for half hour. I mean, I was actually an hour. It's an important trial, y'all. I don't want you to think, because I dipped over to Kouri here, because we've been covering it for so long, that I, in any way, shape, or form, do not fully understand how incredibly important that case is moving forward in America in terms of how parents are going to be treated with respect to their children's violent, murderous actions outside of their presence. And I mean, this is setting another bar. This is setting another bar. This is creating that precedent. And, prosecutors all over the country, when these school shootings happen, they're going to be looking at the parents. That is facts. I warned you all of that after Crumbly. I don't know if you believe me or not. You should always believe me. I mean, sometimes obviously I'm wrong as shit, but a lot of times I'm right. And with that, I was spot on. And it's a thing. It's a thing. All right. So, all right, let's look. You guys are coming through. Aw, Emily, family hug. Welcome to the family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a new member. Cody, thank you, as always, for your generosity. Gifted one DD podcast membership. I didn't see who the lucky winner was, but thank you for your constant support, Cody. We always appreciate you over here. Kaylee, the alcohol still in the stomach when alcohol absorbs within 1 to 5 minutes, honestly, was the most interesting thing yesterday. So Kouri RX in his Kouri's prescription in his I'm assuming, like, those didn't come through for me. I'm assuming in his stomach, right? I can't see what the emojis are in StreamYard for some reason, which is weird. Thank you. Yeah, no, I thought that ME's testimony was not only interesting, but incredibly important. We got a lot of information from that. I mean, to me, I said it yesterday, and I'm gonna stand by it. I think the rogue gummy theory is dead in the water. I mean, they may still go with it, but ain't nobody buying it. In my opinion, I'm pivoting. Or I don't even know if they were leaning into the gummy thing. I mean, they certainly brought it up a little bit in opening, right? Can't remember. We're 3 days out. But to me, that thing is, but the thing is, they know, obviously the defense has a firm understanding of what the autopsy report says. Like I think sometimes people forget, like, no one is getting surprised at trial. You know what I mean? There is no, like, this, there are no aha moments, no gotcha moment. They rarely happen in trials. Rarely. And that's because the prosecution knows what the evidence is. The defense knows what the evidence is. The courts go to great lengths to make sure that trials are not trials by ambush, where either party is surprising the other side with some new shit that the other one was unaware of. Those don't happen. They're not supposed to happen. So that being said, both sides know exactly what's coming in a trial. I mean, they battle sometimes for years about what's going to come in and what's not going to come in. Now, excuse me, in states where you do not have the opportunity to, there is one X factor, and this is what I'm going to talk about. In states where you do not have the opportunity to depose witnesses ahead of trial, like Illinois is one, we cannot depose witnesses prior to trial. And if you've ever listened to Gacy or Garcia podcasts, you know that it is very difficult for the defense to be able to communicate with state witnesses, people that the state has said, hey, we're going to subpoena you. We need you. You're a critical witness for us in the trial. And, they cannot tell those witnesses not to speak to the defense or defense investigators. However, they can tell them absolutely unequivocally, you don't have to talk to them. I can't tell you not to talk to them, but I can tell you, you absolutely don't have to speak with them. And so ultimately what that ends up doing for us, especially like in states where you can't depose people, witnesses prior to trial, that leaves us kind of flying blind when we have witnesses on the stand. So you can get surprises in those situations if you've got a defense attorney who is breaking the absolute most important rule of cross-examination, which is, and I've heard other lawyers say and law tubers say, the most important rule of cross-examination is not to ask a question you do not know the answer to. There's all kinds of other important rules, but that one, that is the one. Do not ask a question that you do not know the answer to. That is when you get bitch slapped. And you're like, oh boy, I just fucked the case. So, but in states where you do have the opportunity to depose them because you're sending out a notice of deposition and you can have the court force the deps, and you're obviously having a much better opportunity to really inquire with that person beyond what you're reading on a police report. Because usually, like in Illinois, that's what we're stuck with. Whatever the cops have in their police report is essentially what we have for the sum total of whatever a particular witness may have said. And then we don't have the opportunity, if they're not willing to talk to us, to speak with them prior to them sitting in the witness stand under oath. So as you can see, that's challenging. That is a little bit flying blind, and it's very different in jurisdictions where they get to depose the witnesses. I mean, you guys see how that would be a big deal, right? Being able to really drill down on somebody. You'd have the police report, you're in a deposition, which is under oath, and you get to ask questions. You get to flesh things out. I mean, I think every state in the union should allow for depositions. I mean, you can get them in civil. Why do you have them in civil when it's only about fucking money, but you don't have them in every state? And I'm talking about depositions when it's people's freedom and liberty at stake. Kind of shows you what's valued more in this country, unfortunately. There he is. Let's go. Oh, what a nice outfit Kouri has on today.
You folks can have a seat as you come in. Thank you. All right, please have a seat. Good morning. Thank you for your patience. We'll begin this morning with cross-examination of Ms. Gibson. Ms. Gibson, you are still under oath.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Ms. Nestor, please proceed.
May it please the court. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Gibson, you and I have met before, but just for purposes of the jury, again, my name is Kathy Nestor, and I do represent Kouri Richins along with my co-counsel. So I wanted to start by just kind of revisiting what we discussed yesterday about your role in this case.
Okay.
So it's my understanding that you are, for purposes of saying it an easy, non-lawyerly way, you're the evidence lady, right?
Yes.
So all the evidence that's in this case kind of comes under your purview, right?
Yes, it does.
And you're responsible for being told when it's located, right?
Correct.
If possible, photographing it where it's found.
Yes.
If not possible, then making a log of where you're told it was found.
Correct.
Keeping those logs, safe and secure, right?
Yes.
Noting on the logs the day it was found, the location it was found, and by whom it was found.
Yes.
Making sure then that it's packaged in a way that it can't be tampered with later.
Yes.
And then storing the evidence in some way that is protected from the public or from tampering.
Yes.
And by the way, where do you store all of your evidence?
In our evidence room in the sheriff's office.
Here, just right across from this courthouse?
Correct.
Right. And that room is locked.
Yes.
And only certain people have access to that room.
Correct.
And whenever anybody goes in or out of that room, they have to sign in, right?
It's a key card access, yes.
Okay. And then ultimately your goal is throughout the investigation, if someone needs to look at something, they got to go through you and you check it out and let them look at it and then check.
What's the sound like for y'all? I've got it boosted. Like, I want to deal with this one time. I'm not going to continually deal with this all day because it irritates me. The sound thing. All right. So look, I don't have the extra boost on. Lauren, that might be you. Is anybody else getting an echo? See, everybody's listening on different devices, so it's like there is no uniformity in this thing. All right. Well, if it's awful for you, let me know. Let me know. Let me ask you this. Has anybody been watching any other creators that are streaming through Law and Crime? Are they finally showing the demonstratives that they're putting up on the screen over there? I always love when I say this, objection, Your Honor always says this. And I mean, I echo her sentiment, but I'm glad she's saying it, not me, because it makes me seem mean. So thanks, objection. That's a secret. I appreciate you say that. All right, bye.
Right. And then you also, the plan is at trial, you're going to come with a box and you're going to show it to the jury. Some things they may be able to see, some they may not. But ultimately, you're going to hand all that evidence over to the jury. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Now, there is an exception for some types of evidence. For example, we've heard testimony in this trial about blood and bodily fluids and samples of tissue. You don't maintain those, correct?
Correct.
Pardon me?
Correct. Just to clarify, we do have a few items from the medical examiner's office that are stored in evidence.
But not fluid of nature, right?
No.
Because most of that is maintained by the medical examiner's office, right?
Correct.
Or the labs where those items were shipped.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other type of evidence that someone other than you has a hold of in this case?
Not that I know of.
So one of the pieces of evidence that you are responsible for gathering in this case included the 911 call. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
And tell us what you did to obtain that call.
I believe I was booked into evidence on a USB.
On a little thumb drive?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever reviewed the USB and made sure that the call was in fact on it?
Yes.
And you verified that that was a true and accurate copy of the call?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, at this point, we would move to admit States Exhibit 2-40, which is the 911 call in this case.
Is this, forgive me, just so I have context, this is the same as the one we've already heard?
I did a little snippet of it in my opening, but it has not come in yet.
Mr. Bloodworth?
Your Honor, it's Ms.
Oh, my
Sherman.
apologies, Ms. Sherman.
That's all right, Your Honor. My objection is based on hearsay. Certainly, there are portions of that call that may be admissible by the defense, but broad swaths of that, the state would object on the basis of hearsay.
Would you folks approach?
Sure.
All right. Our first of what I anticipate will be many sidebars. They will be coming because we're getting into the evidence today. Like today, we're going to start getting into the nitty gritty. So I saw an interesting. Wait. Oh my God. Wait. Do we want to hear? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I love it. I love it. That'll never get old. Not to me. It's so good. It's probably because I'm such an old fuck. You know, like I grew up on the Peanuts. So, see, Psychosaurus, are you a young head? Didn't you watch the Peanuts? That's all, not just the teachers, it's all adults. All adults in the Peanuts sound like that. And it's glorious. That concept has stuck with me forever because it's genius. Because frankly, to children, that's what adults do sound like. I live it every day. Well, actually, my kids are pretty good listeners at this point, but when they were young, no, sir. No, sir. No. Oh, so I saw a good question and I loved it. I thought it was interesting because I thought the same thing yesterday. I do want to, so what do you guys think? And I think it was Bailey may have asked him, Kaylee or Bailey, one of the two. What do you guys think about the tweezers? That was a low key, came in late, kind of under the radar. Do you think that's a red herring? And she asked the question. And I'm assuming we're having to wait until the lab tech gets here to find out how shit tested, right? So, but she asked the question and you sent all that stuff off, all the evidence that they went through to the lab. Yes, I did. She didn't ask the follow-up because she's not the person to answer it. So when that lab tech comes in, we're going to find out the insinuation. And I like the way that the state kind of left it hanging there. The insinuation is obviously that fentanyl is some fucking poisonous shit in terms of dosage. If you get a little too much on your person or ingest it somehow or get it on your fingers and you then pick your nose or lick your finger after getting some, whatever, however you could ingest it. The insinuation is that she may have been using tweezers to pick the little pressies, little fentanyl pressies out and drop them into the drink. To me, that's what the insinuation was. What do you guys think? I have not heard moving into it, like I'm talking about the trial, anything about there being a positive test response on the tweezers for fentanyl. If that's the case, and look, I mean, to me, that's something that the defense would be fighting very, very diligently to keep out at trial, which means that we would have heard about it in a motion. Like that, like, even if you're going to lose, you have to file a motion if they've got some evidence like that. Because if that's what the evidence is, like, let's pretend in a world that we live in a world in which Kouri Richins' DNA and or fingerprint is on the tweezers and only hers, and the tweezer portion tests positive for fentanyl. I mean, is that game, set, and match? is that game, set, and match. I mean, holy shit, they're really going at it in there. They are really battling. It's a fascinating sidebar, isn't it? You guys didn't know we're the only channel that can actually hear the sidebars. Oh, wait, whoa. Angela. Or Angel Eye says, then how did it get in his drink? What do you mean? That's the whole purpose of the tweezers. She doesn't want to handle the fentanyl with her hand because everybody's terrified of it. You know, it's like it kills people left and right. It does. It's facts. So she takes either the baggie she got the pills in or the pill bottle. She takes tweezers, grabs the pill, drops it in the Moscow Mule. That's how it gets in his drink. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, that's what the tweezers insinuate, that she didn't want to handle them. Now, here's the problem with that theory. I don't know how long that coat was sitting there, because if I remember correctly, is this the search? That was the last search that they did, which I think was a full year after. Now, I'm asking you in chat, for those who have followed the case heavily, was Kouri ever allowed access to that house in any capacity after the homicide or after Eric's death? Do we know? Because we know, like, was she in that house for like a week, 10 days before Katie and Clint got a hold of the house? I don't know. Did they stay there? I don't know. I'm asking y'all. I mean, they certainly did not say whose jacket it was. All they said is that it was a fitted woman's Under Armour, like, zip up, and that they, in that jacket, they found the tweezers. Because here's, so yes, she was living in the house. How long? So because Clint and Katie didn't move back into the house. Remember, they sold that house to Eric and Kouri, right? So, like, this is an important part of the timeline, and one that I'm not crystal clear on. So if you guys can fill me in on that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Because you've got, remember, she's not arrested for a year. She's out running around doing her shit, writing books, doing little book tours in Good Morning, Utah. You know, I mean, but in terms of the property, you know, to me, it would seem that Katie cares enough about the boys that she would have let Kouri stay in there while everything festered. Well, the suspicion festers outside of the walls of the house. But so, all right, let me see. Okay, so Donna, she lived there. But before, yes, incomplete answer there, Emily. I need more. Okay, I believe that okay, yes, she lived there. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Stayed until after arrested. Well, she was in custody then, right? All right, so that is very, very helpful. So to me, the jacket tweezer thing's still on the
related to Ms. Gibson's receipt or preservation of the 911 number.
Do you recall who you received the 911 call from?
I don't recall off the top of my head, no.
Do you know whether you downloaded it yourself off of a county database?
I wouldn't have access to that. That would only be one of the supervisors in dispatch.
So one of the dispatch people gave you the thumb drive?
I don't know how it got from dispatch to me. It was booked into a locker, I believe.
And what is that?
On our evidence locker. So when it's booked into the sheriff's office, If a deputy books it in, it typically goes into the temporary locker where they drop the key and then we collect it.
Is that what happened in this case? A deputy dropped it off?
I believe so.
How do you typically in other cases gather the 911 called for evidence purposes?
It's either that way. Sometimes I will personally request it if the detective asks me to. But either way, it's just taken from the dispatch center and booked into evidence.
So once that thumb drive got into your evidence room, it was maintained safe the way that we just talked about with all your other evidence, right?
I believe so, yes.
So there's no reason to believe that the 911 call that you have would have been tampered with in any way.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's it, Your Honor, unless the court thinks I need more. Okay. We're going to come back to the 911 call later in the trial. Okay. Court's indulgence for just a minute.
Of course.
Ooh, I'm going to make coffee. I'll be back.
As another part of your duties, and I want to use our language really carefully here, so if you could match my language, that would be helpful, okay?
Okay.
Were there calls between Ms. Richins and her family that you obtained recordings of?
Can you clarify?
On about a weekly basis there for a while, were you downloading calls between Kouri Richins and her family?
Are you talking about jail calls?
Your Honor, move to strike and need to approach.
To time, there are legal issues that come up that I need to discuss with the attorneys at sidebar. This will happen throughout the course of the trial. There's no particular significance to any one of them. Second, please do not consider or speculate at any time during this case or during your deliberations about whether the defendant was or is in custody or was in custody at any time. That is not evidence of anything. You cannot consider that issue for any reason. Ms. Nister, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. There was a time where you downloaded home wave calls. Is that correct?
Yes,
Right. And those calls, when you would download them, you preserved those calls in the same way that you did all the other evidence, right?
correct,
So it was kept in the evidence locker. No one could tamper with it or alter it.
correct.
And some of those calls, there were transcripts made. Were you involved in the making of the transcripts of those calls?
No, I was not.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I'd like to go through
All right, what'd I miss? Let me know in chat.
with you kind of a timeline, I guess is the best word for it,
Okay.
of your activities on this case. And I'm not going to retread what Ms. Shervanak already covered with you. I'm going to try to talk about things that she didn't cover so we don't exhaust the jury, okay?
Okay.
So I want to talk first about the night of Mr. Richins' death when you arrived on the scene. When you arrived on the scene, you did mention there were already people present. Is that right?
Correct.
When you were there, were they still conducting CPR or had they ceased their efforts to try to revive Mr. Richins?
They were not working on him, no.
So at that point, you knew this was going to be a death scene, right?
Correct.
Okay. And was there somebody on the scene that was giving you tasks to complete, or were you just using your best judgment on what you needed to do while you were there?
I was there to assist Detective Woody.
So Detective Woody was the individual that kind of told you what she needed from you at the scene.
Correct.
And when you first arrived, what was it that she said she needed your assistance with?
I don't recall her exact words, but to assist in documenting the bedroom.
Okay. And you did that, right?
Correct.
Okay. And one of the pictures that you took was admitted yesterday. Just a minute. For purposes of the family, this is going to be a photograph of Mr. Richins' body under the sheet in case they'd like to step out. Can we pull up Exhibit 1-7 that was admitted yesterday and publish it, please?
Make me do it first.
I don't, oh yeah.
Any objection, Ms. Sherman?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll publish that now. One moment. There it is.
Okay. And this is a picture that you testified yesterday that you took. Is that right? That morning?
Correct.
All right. Above the head of Mr. Richins, under the bed, there is a crumpled up sheet. Do you see that?
Yes.
And if you look directly above it to the mattress, this is one of those beds. I'm guessing it's one of those adjustable beds that's divided in the middle.
Yes.
But you can see that there is a sheet on the mattress that's the furthest to the bottom of the picture. And there's not a sheet on the mattress closest to the window. Is that right?
Correct.
And do you have an understanding of why there was no sheet on that mattress?
Yes.
What is your understanding of that?
My understanding was dispatch had instructed Kouri Richins to do CPR on Eric Richins and was then instructed to try to get him on a flatter surface for CPR. In order to do that, especially with a male, they're typically larger in weight, and so she instructed her to pull off the sheet in order to get him off the bed.
So in other words, you can't lift the body because it's literally dead weight, right?
Yes.
And so the idea is to undo the sheet from the bed and then pull him down to the ground where you could do CPR on a flat surface.
Correct.
And is that because, I mean, I don't even know if you know, is it not successful to do CPR if you're on a cushy surface because you go up and down, right?
Yeah, it's typically a little bit harder on the person.
Okay. All right. And is it your understanding that the sheet that's crumpled up under the mattress that has no sheet on it, that's the sheet that he was pulled to the ground on?
I believe so.
Right. And did you examine that sheet before it was put into evidence?
I don't recall how much I examined it, but I looked at it.
Do you still have that sheet in evidence?
Yes, we do.
And is there any blood on that sheet?
I believe there was on this.
So if there was testimony here by EMTs that blood did not start coming out until after the EMTs were there, is it fair to assume?
I want to get clear on this. And I apologize I have to do this, but the blood around the mouth, it obviously came from either the EMTs or if Kouri did perform CPR. But here's what I want to be clear on. So while I was gone making my delicious iced coffee, so a question was asked, and the answer that came back was relating to the fact that there were jail calls. Is that what happened? And then counsel sought to ask the judge to strike it. Is that what happened? So there was a question asked, answer, jail calls are brought up. Defense counsel gets upset, says, all right, no, I need a sidebar. Ask for the judge to admonish the jury, strike it. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to be clear on that. Now you all know that when a judge tells a jury to disregard something that they've heard, that doesn't happen. It's a legal fiction. Nobody forgets what they heard. They all heard that shit and it's all in there. So can they consider it? And like technically, can they consider it when they're trying to reach a verdict? No. But is it in there? Percolating, floating around, interfering with other thoughts? Of course it is. You can't, this isn't Men in Black with the magic pen thing that you zap somebody and they forget everything. It doesn't work like that. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Assume that the sheet was under Mr. here by EMTs, that blood did not start coming out until after the EMTs were there. Is it fair to assume that the sheet was under Mr. Richins when the EMTs were working on him?
Can you rephrase like the sheet
Well, let me
underneath
ask
him?
this way.
Exactly.
Why did you feel that was an important piece of evidence to gather? And
Exactly.
Because it was where he died on.
Perfect. That's what I needed.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. You can take that down, Katie. Thank you. You also, I believe, said that you photographed.
Well, because it's interesting because obviously everyone that watches any true crime and any trials understands that everything aside from attorney calls, if you were in jail, is recorded and monitored, whether it be on the phone, whether it be on the tablet, whether it be through text, whatever it is, it's all monitored. But in this case, they'd also tapped Kouri's phone when she wasn't in jail. So you have two periods of time where you have two different types of recorded calls. So that's interesting. It sounds like Nestor asked kind of what she felt was a benign question, but she probably should have, but here's the thing. If you articulate in the question, well, I'm talking about the period of time when you had tapped her phone, that question alone, and you having to articulate that you're talking about that period of time when she was being recorded, obviously would indicate that there's another period of time when she's being recorded. So I wish I would have been in here for it. I didn't get to hear that. We didn't get to hear the sidebar anyway, but
Other areas of the bedroom, right?
Yes.
And one of the photographs that you took, I believe, was the photograph of the nightstand, which was exhibit 1-9. can we please publish that to the jury? Exhibit 1-9. It was admitted yesterday, Your Honor. Oh, thank you. I gotta get a screen on this thing.
Should have given
And
date.
that's the picture that you took as well, right?
Correct.
Now, when you took that picture, there's a wallet on the nightstand.
Yes.
Do you know how that wallet got there?
I believe it was placed there. I don't recall who placed it. It was there when I arrived, but I was told that it was retrieved from the kitchen.
So is it fair to say then that anything under that wallet that might have been residue on the nightstand could have been altered or changed by placing the wallet on the stand that night?
Not by just placing the wallet on top of an object.
Did you ever pick up the wallet and photograph what was underneath it?
Yes, we did.
You did pick up, and where's that photograph?
I believe OME Sessions documented that.
Okay. And did you open the drawers and photograph what was in the drawers of the nightstand?
I don't believe so, no.
Were you aware at that point that a hydrocodone bottle had been removed from one of the drawers?
I didn't know where it had come from, and it was taken with the decedent.
Okay. So you did not take the hydrocodone bottle into your custody.
No.
Did you open it and photograph the inside of it?
I believe that was OME Sessions.
Okay. So you can't testify whether there were pills in it or not at
No.
the time.
No, I cannot.
Did you ever recover that pill bottle back?
No, we did not.
I thought that was one of the pill bottles you introduced yesterday. Not?
No.
That was a different hydrocodone bottle?
Which hydrocodone bottle are you referring to?
So yesterday you introduced a packet, and you remember we came up and you were trying to
Mhm.
untape the bottle and looked in one of them, but there was
Yeah.
another pill bottle with that one. Where were those taken from?
It's in that same packaging from the master bedroom, the master bathroom, like linen closet area.
Okay, so the hydrocodone bottle you introduced yesterday was found in the bathroom.
That misstates the evidence.
Would you lay some more foundation, Ms. Nestor?
How do you know where it was found?
I was there that day, and it was found in the bathroom.
Okay,
And
So-
when you say
but-
it, for my benefit.
I need clarification.
Yeah,
It's not
could
clear
we,
what-
I need
okay,
I'm having pronoun trouble here.
let's
Can you
do
be
this.
specific about which item you're referring to?
Let's make it really easy. Let's pull your package out because you still got them with you,
Yes,
right?
I do.
You got your box. Okay, let's pull out package number. Just a moment.
There's the wallet, DB, again.
I shall find it.
Is it 9-1?
I'm looking. Yes. Okay, may I approach Your Honor just for a minute? I don't have my-
Yeah, of course.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Can you take it out? Sorry. Make it blow out.
I do cracked pot. You're talking about Gibson? Yeah. You can see it a little bit. Easy, Brooklyn.
Okay. So that was my bad. I got the bottles mixed up. So the bottle you just looked at was something called monocycline or something like that, right?
Yeah,
And that was a prescription for Ms. Richins.
correct.
Okay. So those were found in the bathroom.
Yes.
Damn
And
right.
that includes the quetiapine.
Quetiapine. Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And those were found in the bathroom.
Correct.
And where was the quetiapine bottle found?
It was in one of the baskets that was in that linen closet in the master bathroom.
Okay. So what happened to the hydrocodone bottle that was sent with the body of the decedent?
It's under the medical examiner's office protocol to keep that until they're done.
So you don't have that bottle.
I do not know.
So all we have is a picture of that bottle.
Correct.
So it has never been taken for testing by you to anyone.
Correct.
So if there was fentanyl residue in that empty pill bottle from 2016, we won't know it because you never took it to be tested, right?
I was never given the bottle, no.
Okay. While you were there that day, you also did not take any photos of the kitchen. Is that right?
Correct.
And you did not take any photos of the kitchen sink
Correct.
or what was in it.
Correct.
And you did not take into your custody any items that were in the kitchen sink. Is that right?
Correct.
And you also did not take any pictures of the closet.
Correct.
And later, we've had pictures be introduced. When you did your Matterport walkthrough,
Mhm.
we saw an image of a green jacket where the gummies were kind of sticking out of a pocket. That green jacket, you can't say whether that was there the day that you were there or not.
I cannot. And just to clarify, I did take, I think, 2 photos of the closet, just not that side of the closet.
Okay. So you took photos of, and I'm using this from my experience, but in my house, there's a woman's side of the closet, which is much bigger, and a very small man's side of the closet. Is that the way it was set up in Ms. Richins' house?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you also did not go inside the cabinet over the toilet when you were taking pictures of the bathroom and open the cabinet and see if there were gummies in there, did you?
I did not.
Okay. Also, there was a picture that has come in your Matterport where there was a little dot above the refrigerator where you said that some gummies in a clear plastic bag were found, right?
Correct.
And you didn't go above the kitchen and open that cabinet and take any pictures that morning.
No, I did not. You're referring to the morning of the death.
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you for helping me be specific. I'll try to keep my dates straight. So since you were personally the one who knows where every single thing was found, isn't it true that all the gummies, with the exception of the gummies that were found in the jacket in the closet, were all stored high up where children would not be able to reach them?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. All right. Just 1 second. I think we're going to move to another day. Oh, you mentioned when you were describing paraphernalia that you did not see any paraphernalia that day. Is that right?
The day of the death?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm going to get better.
You're fine.
The day
You're
of the
good.
death.
Correct.
And you mentioned paraphernalia is things that we might be familiar with, which would be like bongs or vape pens or scales or little baggies you would put drugs in or something like that, right?
Correct.
Things that would store drugs.
Correct.
Is it possible that if someone had, in your experience, when you've been to scenes, have you experienced where people put pills in different bottles than what the bottle actually says they are when they're illicit drugs?
Are you talking about like prescription bottles?
Mhm.
Yes.
So if you saw an empty prescription bottle near the body that had expired 6 years before, could that possibly be paraphernalia? If it was used to store illicit drugs?
If it was used to store illicit drugs, it could be considered.
Okay, thank you. You also, that day of the death, you did not go upstairs at all, correct?
Correct.
You also did not go downstairs.
Correct.
Since then, you've walked through, viewed, videoed, measured this whole entire house. You're aware now that there's a kitchen downstairs, right?
Correct.
And are you also aware that there was liquor stored downstairs?
I was not.
Did you notice in all these tours that you did and videos that there was an actual beer fridge downstairs filled with beer?
On the day of the Matterport, or which day we were?
Any day you were there.
I don't recall.
Did you notice there was liquor bottles in the cabinet in the kitchen downstairs?
I believe there were some. I'm not sure about how many though.
Did you ever photograph any of those?
If I did, it would have been in my overall photographs.
Also, the day of the death when you were taking photographs, did you photograph anything in the kitchen trash?
No, I didn't photograph the kitchen.
Right. Did you notice anything set around the kitchen? For example, cut up limes or drink mixes or anything on the counter? Did you notice any of that?
I didn't enter the kitchen.
Never even went in it.
No.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Mm.
Then I won't waste my time with more questions about the kitchen. Okay. So let's move now to the next time that you were in that house, which my understanding would have been April the 13th of 2022. Is that right?
Correct.
And what was the reason you were there?
We were there to serve a search warrant.
And this is going to seem like a silly question, but I need to make the record. So when you all execute a warrant of a home, do you tell the people in advance, hey, FYI, we're going to be at your house at 9 and we're going to be searching everything you own? Do you do that?
I don't.
No.
No.
As a matter of fact, it's important for searches to be done well and done professionally, that the person not know they're coming, right?
Correct.
And you guys actually take pretty extreme steps to make sure the person's not tipped off that you're about to search their entire house, right?
Correct. But you, just to clarify, I am not a law enforcement officer. I'm not sworn, so that's up to the detectives.
I appreciate you making that distinction. I will not suggest otherwise. But you are certainly a critical part of the search process, right?
Correct.
And why is that?
I'm there to document everything and photograph, collect anything of importance.
So really, I mean, you're like the hub of the whole search, right? Like everything's coming to you that they find in that house.
Correct.
All right. So I know you're not a sworn officer. Maybe you don't carry a gun, but you sure are important to the search process, right?
Correct.
Okay. So knowing that and knowing your role, you would never tip someone off that you were coming to search through all their personal belongings, would you?
No.
And is there any reason that you all believed that Ms. Richins knew in advance you guys were coming to her house?
Well, let's find out if she has any knowledge,
Right.
and then we'll know whether or not it's speculation.
I would just ask like a more precise question. I think, and I'm not picking on Ms. Nestor, but I think it was you all, and I think we just need a little more.
Can we just limit the
Detail.
question to
Yes.
Ms. Gibson?
It's a Southern thing.
Yeah.
Y'all is just in my
Okay.
I'm not
blood.
picking on her. I just wanted to be clear.
I will try not to
Would
say
you
y'all.
restate the question and limit it to this witness?
I'm happy to. I will try to keep y'all out of my vocab, but it's hard. It's deep in there.
Deep.
Did you have any reason to know that Ms. Richins either suspected there was a search coming or knew there was a search coming?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So what steps did you, not y'all, what step did you take to prepare to go to that house that morning on the 13th?
I just made sure I had enough equipment to bring to the home, whether it be packaging, tape, property seizure forms, stuff like that.
Was there a debriefing prior where all the officers and you talked about how you were going to approach the home, how you were going to approach Ms. Richins, what the plan was once you got there?
Real quick, the state's point on the y'all thing, and I use y'all all the time too, is that it can infer that it's multiple people. So she can't question Gibson here as to what other officers or techs did. So the use of the term y'all, which can mean you, but it can also mean y'all. So that was the basis of the objection. I mean, I get it. I get it from her perspective, Nestor's perspective too. If you know, like I'm sure she talks to people all the time, like, oh, what'd y'all do? Like talking to one person, you know, but she's probably referring to multiple people. So it's gonna be something it's gonna be a constant thing with her. You can't. It's her lexicon. It's how she speaks. It's going to be something that's going to be very tough for her not to do. Yeah, it can be singular and plural, both. Yeah, true. You is too.
I believe there was a briefing beforehand.
All the officers and you talked about how you were going to approach the home, how you were going to approach Ms. Richins,
Right.
what the plan was once you got there?
I believe there was a briefing beforehand, yes.
Did you attend that briefing?
I don't recall, but I believe I was in there for part of it.
And how many officers were planning on being at that search, to your recollection?
I couldn't put a number on it. I'm not sure.
Rough estimate of how many people were in that debrief.
I'd say at least 5.
Okay. And when you all got to the scene, did you drive your own vehicle?
No, I drove a evidence van.
And how many police cars do you remember being at the scene that morning or throughout that day?
I don't recall. I'd say at least a couple.
When you arrived on the scene, was Ms. Richins in the home?
I don't believe so, no.
Did she at some point return to the home, or were you not even involved in that process?
I don't believe I was involved in that process.
So you never even saw her that day?
I don't believe so.
At any point were you asked to go check on the items that were in her vehicle when she was stopped that day?
No,
So you don't know what was in her truck the day that she was pulled over?
no,
And no one ever asked you to like say, hey, these items were in the truck where she was removed from during our search?
I don't believe it. So, and just to clarify, you're referring to the April 13th.
Yes, all
Okay.
these questions are the 13th
Okay.
until I switch, okay?
Okay.
So no one asked you to inventory any of the items in her personal vehicle?
No,
Did the search warrant cover the vehicles in the house?
I believe there were 2 vehicles inside the garages that were included. I'm unaware. I wasn't part of that part of the search during her stop, so I'm unaware.
Okay. Do you remember the weather that day?
It was winter. It was cold.
It was really cold, right?
Yeah.
Snow on the ground. Remember when we used to have snow in Park City?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. How long were you at the house that day? The 13th.
Believe we were there for about a half day. We were there for several hours.
Was there also a member there at the home on that day from the U.S. Postal Service that you can recall?
Yes.
What's his name?
Believe it's Smoot.
Right. Agent Smoot. Why was Agent Smoot there? What was your understanding of his role at the search?
My understanding was pursuant to the search warrant, they were looking for anything that could have been mailed to the house that would have contained drugs or paraphernalia.
Right. And Mr. Smoot works for the Postal Service, so he would be looking for things that were mailed, right?
Correct.
Like illegal drugs.
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did he ever give you any that day to check into evidence, anything that was an illegal drug or a postage that looked like it was connected to illegal drugs?
Not that I ever recall.
All right. Was it your understanding? You okay?
I just need some napkins. Sorry.
Oh,
Ms. Nestor, I have a scheduling conflict at 9:30. Is this an appropriate place
Sure.
to pause?
sure is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is no fault of the attorneys. I have an unavoidable scheduling conflict from 9:30 to 10:30. We didn't want to lose all of that time this morning. We have gotten as much done as we could. We're going to take a recess. Fair reminder, please don't talk about this case or anything related to it. You are free to talk about everything else. Current events, your family, sports, whether the Spurs are actually going to make it to the finals. That's all fair game. But please, no talking about this case. You are allowed to use your personal devices during this recess, but do not use them to post about the case or to do any research, and please avoid any social media or other reports about the case during that time. Thank you for your patience. I promise we'll get back on the record as soon as we can. Please rise for the jury. Folks, have a seat, please. Ms. Gibson, during this break, like overnight, you are proverbially still on stand. Please isolate yourself. Don't confer with anyone. Okay. The court is in recess until 10:30. Thank you for your time.
Oh, I wonder what he's got. He's probably got some kind of judicial thing. Usually, if it's an unavoidable thing, it's something having to deal with the judiciary. Unless it's another case that he's got but I doubt it because it's not in his courtroom. So, I mean, that's not to say he couldn't use another courtroom, but I have a feeling that's what it is. And everybody clearly knew about it. All right, so yeah, I think exactly what we're gonna do is we're gonna go peek on my wife, see what's up. There is a goal that has been set for a wheel spin. It's for the merch store. You can either get a T-shirt. Now, I had somebody email me that had won a T-shirt or had ordered a T-shirt, and the image in terms of what was on there after one washing came off. I want to know, for those of you that have bought shirts from the merch store at Bonfire or won one, if that's a problem that you guys have with that, let me know. But also you can pick, we've got a pretty sweet tote bag in there. So I'll leave it up to the choice. Yeah, it's going to be a break until it's a recess for an hour-long recess. That's where we're at with it. So I'm going to keep this up. And then in the interim, we're going to go check on Allie in the Colin Gray trial. Might as well. That thing's getting down to it. So let's see what's what over there. I think I hear Allie down there. Oh, no, it's not Allie. She's still on the streams. All right. So all right.
We had a project I have to do Saturday, and so you get to be at home when you get lunch. Yeah, and they go with me. They all drove cranes and podcasts. How often do you go with me? He used to go all the time when he was little and when he stopped doing that.
All right. If y'all are late, court is on a recess. So the Richins trial is on an hour-long recess. It's on the scroll down there. Judge had something unavoidable. We are dipping over to the Colin Gray trial, which is being streamed by my much better half. Look at how cute she is right there. Aw, so cute. So adorable. All right. So that's what we're going to do to kill time. Does this feel creepy?
So he doesn't go. He hasn't go. No, so that, I mean, that's good. You get to be home that much. What's a typical, like, when you get home, what time do you normally get home? 3:30, 4, something like that? Yeah. What's your afternoon? So, the afternoon is, like, we usually go to the park. Jenny and me and Boo will go up there, and that's what we always call it. Or we'll go football, play football, park, right there in Bethlehem, right behind the Civic Center. Bethlehem, the Civic Center is a little park right there. So
Yeah, the sound on this interview sucks. I highly recommend that you use the captions that are right there on the screen to help guide you through this testimony. Like most interview rooms, the sound is not great. It's not great.
we would, this past fall, we were there every day after school. Is Colby over there with you? Sometimes he would go with us. And him and Jane would just swing and be in the run around and chase and play on the swing. So sometimes we go to the park. What time y'all normally eat dinner? We try to eat dinner. They're always chomping at the bit, like, 6:30, 7 o'clock. When the time change comes, I try to make sure we're obviously in the house, dinner, and everybody's laying down by 8:30. The older ones are? Everybody's laying down. Yeah. Wow. And they'll, Jenny will lay there and we'll do her girl stuff and look on the phone. And Colt, he'll see what I'm looking at now.
He's gaming, huh?
Apparently not. So,
Well, when you go check on him, tell him it's not about 8:30 or
yeah, I can hear it
What
through the
he's
wall.
playing with you, yeah.
I can hear it.
What kind of video games you play?
He plays hell, the last couple of weeks he's been playing Minecraft with Jenny, like
Minecraft?
nonstop.
Do you play anything else?
He's Call of Duty, like trying to get me to play it, and I'm stuck. I can't play it. I just literally can't do it.
You said you weren't too good at it.
I'm stuck. Like, he told me this, I just stab myself in the leg. We don't care what else was. So, it's just something where
What else is he into other than video games?
he can hit the hell out of the golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, golf.
So when we got back over here to, when we were in Jackson, we go hit balls almost every weekend.
Oh, since you moved back to that.
We went to the Chimneys, played, showing how close we were. Actually still owed money for a putting contest, he beat me on it. The goal right there was when he smashed, and I'm like, you can write your ticket. I said, you're so smart. You can go to college and do this for a living. Like, you're a good looking kid, but you're smart. Like you, the world is just right there for you. You're such a good boy.
When, so you said the last few months were pretty bad. Do you guys argue a lot?
No, we
You don't argue a lot?
not leading up to the whole net bullshit is when it came off the rails, And
So that's when the argument started between you and him?
Yeah.
What's the typical argument look like for you guys?
it's, just stop. Just,
What's he doing?
he's just cussing, slamming doors. And it's just like, I need you to stop, or I'm gonna take the kids on the lead to calm down. So the first time,
Did you ever break anything in the house or anything?
yeah, he broke the door.
You broke the door?
Yeah.
What door did you?
Bob says we are lurking on your stream. So I don't know if on his stream he's streaming our stream, but that's what it sounds like. So hey everybody, if that's what's happening. Hi babe.
Hi, hon. She can't hear me.
Right?
The hallway door.
Why do you do that?
I guess we didn't lock the door.
What's he so mad at 84?
Jenny had said something about what they had been arguing about, and he chased her down the hall.
What were they
And
arguing about?
I don't remember what exactly they were, but whatever she said, something, I think it was something at school that happened, and he was embarrassed about it, because he ran down the hallway.
Mm.
His grandmother was there too, and I'm like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
And when he got to the end of the hallway, he like tripped over his foot bag and like landed his head into the door and it knocked a hole in the bottom of the door right
You ever break anything else around the house?
No, nothing like full on. He knows like that. All we have is my income.
All right. So yesterday the daughter / sister testified that he, being Colt, put a hole in the closet door or in the closet. Dad just described how that hole happened. Now, obviously, that is different. Which version is true? I don't know. And I don't think that anything rests on this. I think I might believe it could be both if I was a juror, or I might think this guy lies about everything. He's lying. The other damage to property was taking place at mom's house and at grandmom's house, or at the house, grandmom's house, where mom and the kids were staying. And the only damage to property in the house with Colin, as the sister / daughter testified to, was this hole in the closet.
Thing that I have to just keep us food, clothes, bills.
Right. What is he, when he's yelling, cussing at you, what is he upset with you for?
He's upset with me because we have an agreement where we don't scream and yell. When we get to that point, like just need to walk away.
Right.
And
But what's the subject
Right.
he's talking
it
about?
could be anything from grades to school, like here recently, it's like, I need you to go back to school, like, I
Yeah,
need that,
apparently he's only been in school 4 days.
right? I need that interaction, I need you to start to figure out what it's like to be in school. We talked to the school, I told them all the backstory, said, hey, here's what's going on with him. Smart kid, he just,
When did you first talk to the school?
when we signed him up, like, when he said he was gonna go back to school.
Right. Did you bring that when you talked to him about his whole demeanor and?
No, I hadn't said anything to him about
Then
that.
you talked to him about talking to him.
This was probably about 3 weeks ago. Like, we had an argument or whatnot, and I was like, where I would get up and slam the door, kind of shit. He just wouldn't let it, like, he just wouldn't let it go. It just seemed like he was like wanting to, instead of back off of the fight, like he was really wanting to fight. And I'm
Why
like,
did you fight?
you know,
How many times you tried to do that?
the second time is when it's like, this is it. Like, we're done. I said,
What did he do to you?
nothing. He just bull rushed me, pushed me up against the wall, and I just hold it.
Mhm.
Yeah. The second time, he was like kind of flat on around me, got hit in the side of the head, and I told him, don't hit me in the face. Ever again, I'm gonna turn you loose, and you need to stop. So turning him loose, called mom, called grandmother, and I called, one sister is a little retired cop, the other one is, works.
One of your sisters retired out?
Yeah.
For where?
Henderson. And
What'd she say?
she's been guiding through all this.
Has she?
You know, she like,
What's her name?
Marion Gray, she retired and transferred back here.
Did she?
To Georgia, so,
How long has she got out there?
oh man, been 10 years, maybe a little longer. She was, last time I went on the ride while she was a sergeant.
Mhm.
When she retired, she said, I retired as a lieutenant, so that was good.
So what do you, in the afternoons, like when you come home, and you said you kind of come home, what do you do when you first get home?
So when I first get home, I'll go around, tell everybody how's your day, talk to everybody, how was it, what happened, what you did, bad, and the other, and then what you want for dinner, this is what we have. And then.
On the days that is, you get home before him, don't you?
Yeah, well, sometimes, it just depends.
Yeah, I mean, if you get out 3:30, what is it, his bus time about 4:45?
I haven't like nailed down the hit the high school time yet, always now. You know, it's like, I've got the other two's time.
So what do you do when you come home and he's there? And you head to the bus?
Yeah, so, like when he's not going to school and he's there, or, yeah, so, and that's kind of where we're at, right? I'm like, what, I don't understand, we had this conversation, like, this is what we were gonna do. And he went the first day, and then, it's like the second day, he said, I don't feel like, my math teacher likes me. I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Who's the math teacher?
I don't even know, he hasn't been there that long, like, I haven't even know.
Yeah, school started what, August?
Yeah, and like, so, him getting back in the fray.
So, it seems as far as this comment about his math teacher doesn't like him, and there was a similar comment in his other interview, like downplaying, at least if the way mom described what the cult was saying and what she understood dad to understand, that it was, a sign that he was paranoid, that his teachers were going to hurt him. And all Colin has indicated is like, my teacher doesn't like me. There's something up with my teacher. Um, so and we'll start this and chat about it later.
It's like, it's really important, so, and I'm like, there, you know, he's worried about the image that somebody's gonna find out about all his mama and all that crap, so I said, okay. I said,
What was it, is Matthew, why did Matthew like?
he never really expanded on that, and it was just an odd thing to say.
What about his other teachers?
He didn't,
He liked them?
he didn't say anything else about any other teachers, and just the way his demeanor, it just like, I don't know, was it him, is it his teachers, like, do they not know the backstory with him, whatever?
Did you tell them that?
Yeah, oh yeah, told them why, online, they were really gracious,
When did you have this conversation with the teachers?
not with the teachers, with the
With,
school principal
Yeah,
and that
very good.
scheduler, yeah. She said, just bear with me, we've got all your paperwork, that's good. And I'm like, I want you to fail.
Yeah.
She said, but nobody fails. I'm like, how's that? And she said, we just push them on and we give them, schoolwork that brings them from what they're missing up to where they need to be sprinkled in with what they should be doing. I'm like, okay. So that was the extent of that. And then they have the backstory of his mama and what all happened. And I was clear in the very beginning, like, this is what happened. She can't come on the property and take the kids. She has to be, everyone told me that's what I need to do,
Right.
law enforcement.
so what was the plan for, oh,
Well, so that's what we were working towards. I said, hey, look, I want to get him into a counselor, like, you know.
had he ever, made threats to harm himself, want to make harm, or harm, any of that?
No, not anybody else, but he
Yeah.
made the comment here and there, both when he found out about the mess and him and his mom were having an argument. Just like, you know, look at life I have. I'm like, you know, hey, this is her life, not yours. We're doing our thing. Don't let what she's done define you.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm doing. So, I could not convince him to go back.
Hey, if y'all are late to the party, yeah, there is a hour-long recess that started at 9:30 Mountain Time. In the Richins case, the judge had something unavoidable that was going to take him an hour to do, so they took a recess in that. We were in the middle of the cross-examination of evidence tech Gibson over there. While we are waiting, I've decided to watch my gorgeous wife, brilliant, gorgeous and brilliant, all the things, who is currently streaming the Colin Gray trial, which is a Georgia trial wherein dad, for the first time in American history, is being charged with second-degree murder. Crumbley's were involuntary manslaughter. This is a higher charge, carries a higher penalty. It's the first time in American history that the prosecutors of any office anywhere in the country have ever gone after a parent for their children's actions in relation to a school shooting. It is a historic case. It is a important case. That's why we're dual streaming. Like, we were not, like Allie's doing this one, we were not dipping on that trial. As we've been prone to do in the past, we've dipped on trials when we don't think it's interesting. This is very interesting. It's very important. So we ended up doing this dual streaming. So I'm obviously doing Richins. Allie will, of course, come join me when this trial is over. I think they're getting close to the end of the state's case in chief over here on the Gray trial. So that's what we're doing. We're killing time if you're late. And you can always tell I have it right there on a big banner at the bottom of the screen.
After school, after he came back that second time, and I don't know what to do at this point, so I called up there and said, I want him to see the in-house counselor. Can we do this and set it up?
What's the counselor's name?
Lisa, I need to go with my phone. Lisa, I think she sent me an email and said, hey, they made contact at the school. And she said we would like to bring in a third party, be aware.
Bring like third party therapists
Yeah,
or psychologist or something.
Yeah, the awareness account.
Okay. When were they gonna do that?
This week, I had to fill out all the paperwork, which I did Thursday and Friday.
So yeah, the appointment this week.
Getting them all permission, like bring everybody, bring a specialized person, like
What were they specifically like treating for?
they were gonna talk to him about coming to school, not worrying about what people are saying, don't be a loner, come on, get back in the swing, things at school.
And
try to
about what
find-
people were saying, was that the stuff about his mom
Yeah.
being bad, busted, and arrested?
Yeah, exactly. And then he was more worried about everybody knowing that he, mom was a minute dead, and that his biggest fear was failing and falling behind once he was in high school.
So the appointment this week, I'm assuming it was from like either today or tomorrow?
Yes, so they needed me to give permission, I filled out all the paperwork online, and said, thank you so much for
Did
this.
you, have you been in communication with, Ms. Marcy about any kind of stuff for him, any kind of mental health?
Yeah, so,
Tell me about that.
her and I had talked about that, and she was like, he needs help at another level. And I'm
What
like,
do you mean by that?
she means like step into a place. And I'm like,
When did you make that comment?
just recently while this has been going on.
Sometime in the past 3 weeks?
Yeah, before all this just happened. And I'm like, the problem is.
Before you talked to the counselor the first time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then, so
Why didn't you check in somewhere?
she thought that that's what he needed because they argue and he doesn't have a filter.
Okay. What, did you make threats for his mom?
Not threats, but crack it, this one shit like that. Just know, it's just things I don't want to even hear and say, so I love my brother and sister, so I'm trying to navigate and manage all that, everything that's very hard.
Yeah.
So once that kind of, I told you I could feel it.
So, yeah.
Like, okay, this isn't, we need to do something. So I reached back out and said,
So he's going to circle back to that because he said, again, I told you I could feel it. We need to do something.
we need to do something. So I reached back out and said,
Was that before or after his mom suggested inpatient therapy?
what was
When you said you felt it?
Oh, this is after. This is after her and I had that conversation. I said, you be the one to tell him that he's not gonna take it. I said, I don't.
Did you reach out to anybody at that time?
No, I didn't read out professionally to anybody. I thought that like he'll go to his grandmother and he'll talk to her. And I can't. So I
Do you
called
have a
her.
relationship with
Yeah,
her?
she was a school teacher for 4 years. And I'm like, hey, Jenny, you're calling me. We're at church every Sunday. We go to Athens church every Sunday. I've been trying to get him to go with us. He went one time. So I shared that with his grandmother because she's just always been there for us, right?
So how long after his mom suggested inpatient therapy, was it before you went to school?
So she's been mentioning something like that since she got out. Okay. And then she came up here, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen the kids, I'm like, okay, come back up. I want to say, yeah, a couple weeks ago, 'cause I was out.
All right, people, if you're not listening, listen now. This should be leading right into what he knew about the altercation between mother and son.
Come back up, we'll cook some dinner. I said, well, let you hang out and talk to the kids. I'm sure I got 1,000 things to say. It went okay. And the day she was leaving, I went to work and, normal stuff. It's like, hey, so I'll take Lulu, and, I said, just make sure Colt can get on the bus. Apparently Colt and Mom had a huge fight. So they were all at work. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, he flipped, he lost his mind, he's screaming at me. He's like, I don't even know what triggered all of that, you know? And I'm like, let me get out of this meeting, I'll call you back. I said, I'm gonna stay right here, just give me a second. So get through my meeting, call her up, I'm like, what is going on? I said, he's at school. He was not news at the house. I said, I'm telling you, I texted him this morning, he said he was at school. And well, it turns out he wasn't. He was in the closet. And
How many times did that happen?
just got on that.
So he never told you he was at school before, or went to school, and you found out that he
Yes,
wasn't?
that's the only time it's ever happened.
You know, there's been roughly, what, 30 days of school?
Yeah.
I mean, 20 days of school, something.
Right.
And he's been,
I gotta know if during the break was that accurate.
Well, we can bloop right past this break.
We'll take a break and, back it up to 12:30.
Okay, so go, when we want to go.
The plan is-
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's killing me that I can't talk to Allie. Babe,
Like, who's talking? I was
Babe,
trying
what's
to hear
going
that
on?
voice.
babe, tell us what you really think. Babe? Yeah, I mean, there's no question.
Maybe those are the sheriff deputies talking about how long they're going to work for until they retire.
The audio in the interrogation room sucks. So that's why I'm saying read the closed captioning. They're pretty accurate. Unfortunately, over here on the Richins, they don't have closed captioning at all. It's weird.
and he's been, I mean, school, I mean, 20 days of school, something.
Right.
And he's in 4 days.
Exactly.
So we come home and see him there.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, the first few days, like at school, like, hey, getting back into it, and it's just, his mom came up, I was school, everything's good. And it's just that little rift that they had about her and what she did and our family, and, you know, where he knows we're just taking everything I have to keep us together, and
So he threatened his mom during that? Well,
I don't know, like threatened, I don't think so, it's just a bunch of name calling, and what he said when he called me was, she came down the hallway and, threatened him, and said something about, the way you're acting, I'm gonna talk to you, Daddy, and we're gonna have to take these guns and get them out of the house.
All right. So there you go. The way Colt told it to Colin was his mama threatened him. The way you're acting, we're going to have to talk to your daddy or whatever, Papa, I don't know what she said, about getting these guns out of the house. And this is Dad saying the way Colt told it to him.
I think that comment was made, what she said is he flew off the bed.
I was worried about guns in the house. Yeah, he made a comment about the inside of the water guns?
Not around, that
But around other people?
No, I don't think that was the case. I think her dad,
Told you that?
yeah, no, nobody said that directly to me, so I would be speculating. I know her dad's a retired Marine, he's always like, you know, telling her it was gonna be an issue, and
So she told you to take the guns out of the house?
you know, she said, hey, she went down in there and said, you need to get your shit straight, go to school, and we need to just get these guns put up, is what she said.
What he said?
And that's when it went from bad to worse. And she said, she was going out of the bedroom and he pushed her and she hit the door of the wall and the side of her head. And I'm like, okay, I'm on my way home.
All right. So that was the other state's big issue, that dad knew that he pushed mom, that there was a physical altercation in response to mom saying the guns need to be taken out of the house.
Got
You guys
home.
call law enforcement for that?
Nope, I didn't. She was on her way home. Her parents came up and got her. And when I found out, he finally was like, I'm like, Cole. I said, where are you? Because she's telling me he's there. I'm like arguing. No, like, I'm on the bus. Everything's good. Like, in my mind, that's where he's at. I'm like, no. And when I got home, I'm like, what's the deal? He said, I hid in the closet. And I'm like, why? He said, because Charlie, the grandfather, was coming up here to take her and bring her back home. And he goes, I didn't want him going to our house since he's not even supposed to be armed after we let him in our house. Him and I just have
You can't come pick her up.
oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, he
Why
was
did,
just in my house.
why do you think he was coming to the house?
Who's Colt? Oh, because he came in the house. And like I would have never known that except for when Colt finally got
By the time you got home, Marcy and Dad are gone.
and her mom, they come up and got her.
So that's, how many times do you think Colt's put hands on you?
Those 2 times.
Okay, and he put his hands on, how many times he put his hands on his mom?
That's kind of the worst for her.
So kind of the worst, is that the first time or not?
Yeah, no, there's not like confrontational, it's more verbal.
So, did she ever say anything to you and ask you, hey, look, I'm concerned, can you put the guns up somewhere?
Yeah, so, I'm glad you got to this point because if somebody can get my damn phone and it's my Amazon account, you'll see and look at the date that I present some of this in the card. I'm not paying the money, I have to pay the bills. After all that, I like $150 gun safe with a digital hand code. I couldn't buy it that day, I had to pay 2 paychecks.
How long ago was that?
This was 2 weeks ago. Wherever it was.
All right. So this is why they want to get the financial records in. He said that after they had this discussion before this, he had put a gun safe in his Amazon cart, but it was $150. He needed to wait 2 paychecks to save up money to be able to purchase the gun safe. But all of that doesn't help him. None of that, all of that shows he was so concerned that now he's buying a gun safe, that he had real legitimate concerns about gun safety and access to guns with Colt. What caused him to not be able to purchase it, that he had, let's even call it good intentions for at some point in time to purchase it, just shows you knew there was an issue and you didn't even use the trigger locks and you didn't even make sure the guns were taken out of the house, because you don't need a gun safe if you just remove them until the 2 weeks that you can buy the gun safe. If I'm on the jury and I say, okay, dad's now buying a gun safe because he thinks that it's necessary, because he thinks that there's a safety issue. Now, if he says, I didn't think there was a safety issue, my wife, she was just pushing and pushing, so I thought, let me shut her up and buy a gun safe. But no, he is indicating he had concerns, so he was going to buy this gun safe. So for the time it takes you to have to be able to afford it, and like I said before, I don't think having the money at that precise moment means that money is available to be spent on that in that precise moment. But then you take the guns out of the house for the 2 weeks. or at least put on the trigger locks. And I know we've talked about it earlier that we had the comments that those trigger locks don't mean shit and a kid can get them off if they want to. But Dad wouldn't be sitting here if he did.
That triggered me to go, okay, this is,
You mentioned the gun sale. Let's go back
That
to
triggered me.
How long ago was that?
this was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, that triggered me to go, okay, this is
You mentioned the gun sale. Let's go back to where you keep your guns. You said you keep them up in the top of the closet? Are they loaded, unloaded, or something else?
never loaded up.
Never loaded. Anything on top of them?
All my sweaters.
So your door, like coming into your closet, right?
It's like shell.
That's
Yeah.
true as well, Liz.
All the way in the back.
Did you know there was an imminent
No
risk?
Larry.
inches of
So your closet door that you have a closet door you come in? Okay. Is that a lock on it? It doesn't have any lock? I don't think that was, wonder about that.
But,
Did you ever think of maybe putting a lock on the closet door?
well, really, nobody, like my little one, he didn't even know we had guns in the house. Because we,
They call it, only you have guns in the house?
yeah, he knew, we put them up there and that was.
So he knew where they were at.
Mhm.
And he's been in there to put them on, after you clean them,
Whatever
side
I
them,
do,
whatever.
I take them, I set them up there.
But he's been in there with you.
He's watched me put them up there with the understanding of don't,
Just keep them unloaded. Where do you keep your ammo and magazines and all that good stuff?
and empty magazines are on the right or in the shelf. I had
In
it,
the closet?
yeah, I had an ammo box, like
What does that box look like?
green, like old, like World War II.
Like canteen? Yeah. Okay. How many magazines do you have?
We probably had maybe 6, 7, 8 of them, something like that.
And do you keep, ammunition in those magazines, keep them unloaded?
You know, we keep one loaded and, hell, half of the ones that are in there, we bought, like some service.
It's my understanding that Georgia does not have any safe storage laws. As somebody just asked if Georgia had those. Oh, here, yes. And it's my understanding that Georgia does not have any sort of safe, secure storage law. And all of you are agreeing. And again, that is why it's a slippery slope. And the law specifically allows children to possess firearms in their home if parent allows it.
One place and they didn't fit the rifle we were buying for, so.
So you keep guns in the top of the closet,
Yeah,
and that's your AR,
that's right.
his AR.
Yeah.
And then as far as, what else do you have in there?
In the closet.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, you have any handguns
I
in there?
have not in there. I have a block that I carry with me.
You got a lock on you down?
Now,
I was gonna say that, I mentioned that out there, and I just want to make sure you didn't have
I
it.
don't know, I would never put that on the
So, you have a block, what block you have?
block 43.
43, okay. Where do you carry it? Yeah. Where do you carry that?
I put it in my book bag,
In your book bag?
yeah, for work,
Okay.
on my laptop, all my work stuff in there. We have, you'd be surprised what's happening on jobs.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. Do you have any other guns?
That's it, I've got,
So your ammunition, where's your ammunition kept now?
and I don't really have a whole lot of ammunition. What I did have was in that box.
In the canteen box?
Yeah, in that box, and then like all my miscellaneous crap.
So you keep the ammunition in like boxes, so.
Yeah,
In like a paper box?
correct. It's all in boxes, like, and if you walk into our house, like, we're still not even unpacked from all our stuff.
And how often do you go out there and check on where those weapons are at? You said you kind of had to put it over stuff. What do you have to put it over? Like a
No,
pillow?
I know what's up there and all my big sweatshirts and all my Jordan
You just put
stuff.
it over that?
It's right there, and I have it shipped, like, so I was like out of line.
Okay. But how often do you go in every day and you check, say, okay, both my guns are there?
I can tell by what her mom has done through the years going through my stuff. The way I have things stacked up there, I would know if
So
something.
you don't physically go out on every day?
Not every day.
And, have you ever let Cole keep the rifle in his room?
No. After Christmas, he was super excited about it. I said, no clips, no nothing. I said, you can lay it up in here. In his bedroom. And he's got his golf clubs and his guitars and everything.
How many guitars do you have?
Two. Well, actually 2.5 months. Here.
Yeah. So you let him keep it in there, when did you stop letting him keep it in there?
There's no real set time or, like, not to have it in there. Really, once we.
So he had a gun in his room?
No, not all the time. We would have it in there, we'd shoot, he had it in there after Christmas.
So we're watching Allie's stream, and now Allie is dipped. She's got PT. She's got PT. There's not much we could do about it. Yeah, me too, Carla. Me too. Soon we'll be reunited, and it feels so good. It'll happen. It'll happen soon. I think this Gray trial's getting to the end. It's getting to the end. I'm here. I'm actually I'm working on something that's related to today's wheel spin. So if you guys didn't see, there's a goal for a wheel spin for, I want to make it for one of 3 items in the merch store, either a t-shirt or a tote bag or a tumbler, which it's going to be up to the winner to decide whatever they want. But I'm going to pull up the merch store in a minute. Yeah, defense is not gone yet. Still the state's case in chief over in Colin Gray. So that's where we're at.
Here and there, but
By the way, I'm keeping an eye on Richins, but I mean, the judge was pretty clear. We've got about 17 minutes to go before that hits.
the majority of the time it was in my closet, not really out for anybody. Once Little Man and Jenny moved in,
You ever come home and you know, say you go in there, get it done, clean it, doing something with it?
if he did, maybe 1 or 2 times, but it was always back. You know, when I come home or whatever.
Would he text you or call you and say, hey, Dad, can I get it done?
When I came home, it only happened like a couple of times. When I got home from work, he said, hey, I cleaned the gun. He said, and I put it back up there. I'm like, for what? He said, I just want to see if I can do it. I go, okay. He's like, well, don't do that until I'm here. He said, that's something, every time we get good guns, I have to see it.
Do everything you tell him to?
Yeah, always. Always. That's the thing. That's
When
like
you told him to go to school?
Yeah.
He didn't go to school.
And that's where it's like, okay, like I was telling you, I can feel like something's we need to get more people involved here. So, it's no way of knowing that this shit right over there.
So when did you first hear about his interest in school shooters?
So we are big, I don't know how we got into the presidential race, but we go back and forth, him and I. And so I don't know if it was an interest in school shooters, like he never came to me and said, hey.
Yeah.
I told the investigators the other day, Jenny bought in this flag and had this, I don't know what it was a guy with red hair, it sounded like a girl. It's a clear, funny flag. She bought him off that Amazon. I was up, I'm like, what is that? I thought it was Weird Al damn bitch. And he's like, who's that one? Never mind. I'm like, that's the craziest flag I've ever seen. This is happening. Okay?
Who was it?
I have no idea.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, they told me, but I can't.
Can't remember.
Some computer guy that does the videos and all that stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Really, I didn't, it's such a horrible picture of the guy, I didn't really want to know about him. And then the flag was gone, and when I went in and said, hey, what do you want for dinner? This was probably a week ago. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna fix some dinner, you want pizza, what do you want to do? And I'm like, who's that? And he's really into music, like learning how to play guitars and all that. He looks I thought it was the guy from Green Day. Like, oh my gosh, that's that old man from Green Day that his son, I told you, has a band. He's like, no, that's not who that is. I'm like,
Who was it?
he never did tell me.
I'm not telling you.
He goes, you don't know who that is? I said, no, I said, I think it's that guy from Green Day. Like whoever it is, this bag glasses, he had a more power.
Yeah.
Eyeglasses on. And I laughed, he laughed, and that was that. So,
When's the last, we just want to make sure.
yeah, just one picture.
How often do you go in this room?
I go in there almost every day. Those doors open, he's on the computer, it's dark. You know, hell, there's no one place that I'm in because I'm trying to, do laundry, cook dinner, take out the trash, cut the grass, cleaning kids.
So you go in there every night, tell me tonight, you go in there every morning, wake up, go in there to, like, me or my wife, sometimes when we go, I'll go in there and just sit down and hang out, because my kids like studying.
Yeah, so he does that, and I go in there, what?
There's just that one picture of glasses.
Yeah, just that one right there, I see that was
Those on me.
Yeah, and then.
Can I take a picture real quick?
Yeah. This is the guy. None of that was up there.
None of that was up there.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of a whole lot more. You know who this guy is?
No idea.
You have no idea who that is? Can you see what that says right there? Yeah, the deadly tall 17. No, that is a school shooter. His name is Nicholas Cruz.
That's the same guy. That's the same
Yeah,
guy.
same guy.
Okay. This is the only thing I can see.
We got pictures from his social media down here.
This is in his room.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you right now, I never saw any of that. There was one picture, that one right there.
And you woke him up to go to school.
Yeah, no, here's what I was gonna say. So when Jenny moved in, I said, hey, you're living with us. I'm gonna give you the master bedroom with private bath.
Right.
I'll sleep in the bunk bed with the, right. So I had Colt set up on a couch out in the living room. And then when I saved up enough, I bought a queen size mattress and just bed frame, no box frame, and set it up in a laundry room, and found a big room, like I was gonna make my bedroom. So the goal was like, oh, your room is packed with all this stuff you got going on, computers and golf clubs, all this stuff. I said, we need to start getting better sleep, so I want you to make this your room back here. Sleep in the bed instead of the couch.
When did you make that transition?
Probably maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago. So he would be asleep in there. And literally there was no, like, if he's on his computer, like, I'm not going in there and chit chat with him. He'll go in there and lay down or come out on the couch and that's TV. Well, if we're talking about school or anything going on, that's where he's at. Like,
So he never
he never told me who that was. Never.
Wow, never told me who that was. All right, people, I have bad news. I have PT. So I've got to leave.
That is bad
Come
news.
back, but
She's got to leave and come back. Wow.
uh,
It's a real bummer. She's checking to see how long there is. Look at this.
Courtroom
Look at that tech
for a
wizardry.
little bit.
Wow.
I can't tell if it's him asking questions or if something came up. So I will be back in
Two
I have
shakes
to
of a
wait
lamb's
4 more
tail.
minutes, and then I will be back in 35 minutes. Well, 40 minutes altogether.
Two shakes
But
of a lamb's tail.
all right, let's let it
Nothing.
go.
All right, got nothing.
So I'm gonna blip
Got
it back.
nothing.
Dad told in the first interview he did know who it was. Now he doesn't know who it is.
He's at, like,
Did he, so he never
he
told you?
never told me who that was. He
Never.
never did. He was like, I can't believe you don't know who that is. I'm like, I said, no, it looks like a singer.
Would it surprise you if, Cole said something different?
I'm leaving y'all
Maybe.
unattended.
Wow, what do you say?
So when I talked to Cole, he said that, he indicated that, you know, you came by and you asked him who that was on the wall.
That's right.
And, he explained to you, he said, Dad, you don't know who that is.
That's exactly what he said.
Yes,
And
you
said,
are.
no, I don't. And he told you who it was, it was Nicholas Cruz. And he was a school shooter, and he said it's not that big of a deal.
And then I said, it looked like that singer, and he said, Nichols, that's what he said. He said, it's no big deal. Like, there was no,
So he did say it's not a big deal.
there was no, like, no, I'm telling you, there wasn't like, who is this? It wasn't like I went in there on a search.
I'm not saying.
Yeah, no. It was just kind of like in passing. I didn't ask him or go, I told you what I said to him. I didn't know. He has brought up that school shooting stuff when it happens, and
What did you say about it?
really, he just, like, we have conversations about how somebody could do that. And me telling him, like, you know, you gotta be aware of people. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. Like, the whole, to be honest with you, the push was, and I kept telling him, like, man, you'd be great in law enforcement because of what you see. One time,
What do you mean, what you see? Give me an example.
like Fox News will show all that, you know, blurred out stuff right there, and, he's like, yeah, I looked that up online, and I'm like, so what? He was like, because it, like, it could have been stopped, like, you show me, like, how that guy for the gay nightclub, how he got in there, you know, it was like, they should have stopped him right there, you know? So,
What was the game after?
I don't know, have we used it, yeah, I mean, that's,
So he kind of went into the true crime.
All right, we're switching back out because we're 6 minutes away from starting back up over in Richins. If you guys want to watch that, the interrogation room stuff's pretty hard to get through. I mean, it's a lot. It's lengthy, and you can't hear it for shit. It's pretty annoying, to be honest with you. So yeah, you know, what are you gonna do? All right. So let's hang here. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, wait, where'd I go? Man, what? Some weird shit happened to my screen here. What's going on? What really going on? Let's see. Oh, that ain't it either. Okay. All right, let me fix this shit. Oh, I'm gone completely. Completely vanished. All right, let me see here. Get it back to me. Get it back to the court. Let's see. Okay. All righty then. There we go. There we go. Is that shit? Why does it keep shrinking for me? It's so weird. I don't know. I can't. Do I look normal size to y'all? Hmm? It's weird. So weird. Okay, let me see. Stop sharing that. Okay. Go back to this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. Okay. Weird. Yeah, well, I know that. That's not the question I'm asking. Shrinkage. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. A real thing. All right. Boy, we lost a shit ton of people. Like, what were they going to do? Watch people yap about some shit that's like on break for an hour? Boring. Wait, what? Really? So whoever was talking about like a motorcycle accident, I'm Irish and Italian, Farmer Matt. Get it right. And the Italian overrides. So just so you know. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink. All right, so here's the deal. My shit is super tiny on my screen here, and I don't understand why. It's bizarre. It's kind of pissing me off. Let me see. Pull that off. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Something bizarre has happened, and I don't know what it is. I'm super teeny up here. Super, super teeny. So Emily D. Baker was big mad. Was she really big mad? Or was she pretending like she was big mad? That people were saying that he was in chat and said, wait, he was what? Dead or on the witness list? Clarify, please. Please clarify. Let me get this puppy pulled up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. I feel like I need to refresh my StreamYard, but I'm scared. I'm scared that I'll kill the whole thing. I mean, I guess if I killed the whole stream, I just have to restart it. Something's jacked up backstage, y'all. Like my screen of what I'm seeing, super teeny, and it's got some weird layout shit. Oh, I'm so scared. All right. I'm gonna reload. If I disappear, if the stream dies, I'll restart another one. All right, here I go. Well, that was exciting, and it worked. Yay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to root around and see what people are switching to other than StreamYard. For live stuff, Peter does a lot of videos, so he records ahead of time. It's different. I mean, I know he does some lives, but I mean, we should definitely be liking both streams. That's for certain. That is for certain. Definitely like Allie's stream. Definitely like this one because both situations are helpful. All right. So while we've got maybe 1 minute to kill, let me pull up another thing. So got a wheel spin today, and I want to pull up the store, show you what y'all can kind of pick from. All right, so we added a couple new things. Finally. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna show y'all. Remember, I'm gonna let you can choose today if you win the wheel between a tote, a tumbler, like a drink tumbler, or your classic, your t-shirt. So I know, and there's color choices, obviously. All right, so just so you guys have an idea, let me move my fat head over here so y'all can see what's up. All right, so we got these guys. These are new. These dudes. These are all the brilliant Mandy designs. So this one's pretty sweet. My kink is the Constitution. And it's got the sweet little Defense Diaries pod down there. And we called that one Let Your Freak Flag Fly. We got a few different colors here. Let's see, this is what it looks like there. Trying to match the lips with the t-shirt color. That's a pretty good match in terms of colors. Got a light blue, Carolina blue, they actually call it, and sweet little lilac. So I like that. I like that one. That one's good. That one's pretty good. All right, let's see. Shrink this guy back down. All right, let's see what else we got. Boop. All right, so we got that guy. And then we finally got the I love due process. Finally got this one. So this is the comfort color tees. As you can see, we've got another Mandy design. Fabulous, just fabulous. Got it in gray, got it in granite, got it in violet, got it in pink. I love DP. I love due process. Justice Warriors Unite. So that's out there for you. That is another one that I like a lot. A lot of people have been waiting for the I love due process for a long time. For a long, long time. Oh yeah. Or where the railing looks like a creepy person. Yeah, boy, he's really, 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 really dying for some content. All right, and so we've got this guy, our tote, classic tote with the classic logo on it. So you guys can pick that. And then this new puppy, the tumbler. We got the hot or cold, your choice. So the tumbler, pretty nice, 30 ounces. Put a lot of drink in there. Keep it hot or cold. You live your dreams. All right, so that's what's up. So whoever wins the wheel gets to go on here, pick whatever they want out of either the tumbler. They're all about the same price wise, but obviously I'm paying for it. But so my kink is the Constitution. I love DP, due process, and all that good stuff. So there you go. There you go. All right, let's get back to the trial. Let's see. Okay, let's share. All right, let's go. All right, there we go. There we go. We do need to have some Bob and DB merch in here. I agree. Somebody come up with a good style for me. Good graphic. All right. Okay, so we're still waiting, y'all. We are still waiting. All right, let me get back into this dude. This dude right here. All righty. So we wait. We wait. They're late. They're late coming back. They're late coming back. All right. Thanks, Beach Girl. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, let's see. We got some. Let's go through some. We make it through. Paige, thank you so much for gifting 5 DD podcast memberships. We appreciate that so much, as I'm sure the people who got the free memberships do as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Ginger Avenger says, I work in medicine, no THC in the system. Yet here Seroquel was with fentanyl. So just using my common sense, willing to be proven wrong. So, yeah, I mean, like the kind of the part of, I mean, obviously the concept exists that the gummy, if the defense were to want to stick with the gummy theory, simply didn't have any THC. That it was straight fentanyl, right? I mean, that exists in the world as a possibility, certainly. So, just in my world, though, depending on, and I don't know what kind of work law enforcement did in terms of following up on the packaging, following up on where the stuff was procured, trying to figure out if it's a legit dispensary, whether it's some kind of black market shit, because that matters, obviously. 'Cause I am firmly, I mean, Illinois is legal both rec and, like I was saying yesterday, it's legal both rec and uh, medical, and so everything that they get, and it's highly regulated. Like the Illinois government is all up in that shit, like all up in it. How you can pay, every single thing they sell has to be, completely monitored and turned over to the state. There's like, state wants their tax money. So they're all, as you can imagine, they're all up in their shit. If it were to come out that one of like the bigger dispensaries like Verilife, we've got a bunch of them out here. But if they sell some shit that kills somebody, they're done. They're done. The stuff all comes from labs. So, like the likelihood of you getting fentanyl laced stuff out of a lab and from a dispensary, I'd put around the, 1% or less. Kyle, I do not mind you asking at all. So the judge came out right at 9:30 Mountain Time. Judge said, as y'all are aware, I've got something that is unavoidable that I have to do for an hour, and I have to take this recess. He told the jury, apologize that something he couldn't avoid doing. I'd just be speculating. I thought it was some kind of judicial conference. They have those for judges. I've had it happen during one of our trials where a judge is like, I have to dip for an hour. Can't avoid it. Like it's mandatory that all the judges show up. So I'd be guessing completely, but something that was judge related as to why the recess. It had nothing to do with anything relating to the trial, as far as we know. So, but they're late back already. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They did say an hour, right? Be back at 10:30 Mountain Time. So, what are we going to do? So hopefully that answered your question there, Kyle. All right, let's get back to some soups. Yeah, so I mean, I I hope that there was some investigation done as to where these gummies came from. And we're going to be like, the problem is when things were found, in which search. Now I forget who it was in the chat that said that the copper mugs or whatever she served the mules in were found in the dishwasher. I didn't hear that testimony. So I did not hear that testimony yet. So I don't know if that's coming out from pleadings or if it's something I just missed. So I don't know. Have you guys substantiated or corroborated the fact that the mugs were in the dishwasher? Yeah. So Liz says there was a fentanyl, Narcan, and naltrexone, a non-narcotic alternative to pain meds for Lyme's disease, and I believe allergy medicine, no THC. Right. I mean that's the one thing that became clear is the THC was not in there. So I mean, if I'm the state, I'm making the argument. Okay, well, she's saying that you know he ate THC gummies all the time, but there was none in his blood or any of the biologicals that we tested, which was quite a few. Took it from the eye, gastrointestinal, blood. And I think there was one of stomach contents, which is, I guess, the gastrointestinal. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, the defense doesn't have to prove shit. Let's always keep that in mind. The burden's obviously entirely on the state to prove that she dosed him. Oh, you hadn't heard that yet either? Yeah, somebody in chat said it. And hi, Miss Janet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See, I had not heard that at all. At all. All right, so let's see. Let's get back to the soups. And I am live and I am playing. Well, actually, I'm not. Figures. Probably back, getting into it. Deep into it. No, nothing. Judge's little thingy must have taken a bit longer. I don't know. Let's keep going though. Emdo. Aw. Family hug. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Allie and I appreciate it very, very much. Christy Grow, new member. Family hug. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cody, I think I threw this one up, but I'll thank you again for it because I appreciate it. Melissa Filson, I've been wanting some DD merch. Put me on the wheel. Thank you. You are on the wheel. Cody, you're obviously on the wheel. Ginger Avenger, you are on the wheel. Paige, you are on the wheel. Just in case y'all were wondering. Kaylee, you are on the wheel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. You guys are all on the wheel. So I appreciate it. Let's see. Motions in CPA, Bob and Allie, you're the best. Thank you. We love you, Motions. Appreciate all the time y'all pour into this channel and in pursuing justice. Well, we try. We try. It's tough out in these streets. It's tough out in these streets, you know? I mean, there's not a lot of defense attorneys out there. We got the great Runkle. He's a legit, full-blown defense attorney. A lot of other lawyers, not a ton of straight-up defense attorneys, though. So, you know, we take some heat. Look, we're not going to get many prosecutor fans up in here because how we view things. And that's okay. It's okay. Motions, you're obviously on the wheel. Lori Harris, wow, a Bob and Allie double coverage. Awesome. Love you. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for being a member for 3 glorious months. We appreciate that. Bailey, if I get screwed over by this wheel again, lose like last second for the 3rd time, I'm donating all future wheel spins. You did get fucked last time. There's no question. I mean, it was like on Bailey, and then click. It did one last click off of her. It's pretty rough. I was feeling for you, girl. I was like, man, it's like the scene in Caddyshack where with a ball, putt. It's like right there on the edge of the cup. Everybody's like, and then Bill Murray blows some shit up somewhere else in the golf course, and the earth moving drops the thing. It was kind of like that. It's kind of like that. That one last click. But you're on the wheel, girl. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Christy, back again. You were on the wheel, dear. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Pamela D, lots of love to you and Allie from Canada. You're both the best. We appreciate that. And we love our Canadian brothers and sisters. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to tell you. So Allie and I are both Traders fans, the TV show, which I didn't start watching because it kind of irritates me when they have reality stars because I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I just want to see real people playing this shit. So the Canadian one is one that I can't. I'm going to have to get a VPN to watch it. So I watched the Australian Traders, which was really good. At least one of the seasons was. And then the New Zealand. So it had both the best and the worst season of all time. The first season of the New Zealand Traders, I recommend if you want to watch it, where there's really, really smart people playing the game. Because there's nothing more frustrating to me than watching like the current season of the American Traders with all the reality stars. The faithfuls are fucking idiotic. And it drives me nuts. Like I'm sitting there like, oh my God. Oh my God. Why are you so stupid? How gullible are you? So, like New Zealand, I highly, highly go. So I'm dying to watch the Canadian ones because I think Traders is a show wherein everybody goes out to either a castle in Scotland, and obviously in Australia and the New Zealands, it's different, like a huge hotel or a nice house in the New Zealand one. You can tell the budget's not as much for New Zealand. And ultimately, there's a large group of people that are brought in, usually in the neighborhood of 20 to 22 people. And three or sometimes four, mostly three people are secretly selected by the host to be what they call a trader. Now, the traders are somebody, they're a crew, they meet in secret, and the rest of the people are what they call faithfuls. And the faithfuls have to sniff out who the traders are. So they live basically together in this house, and they're always interacting, and somebody's always trying to sniff out the truth, like who is traders. So people are eliminated from the game one of two ways. Typically, every night the traders get to murder one person. Okay, so they select who they want to murder. They go and meet in the turret in secret after the day is done, and then they elect who they're going to murder. And the next morning, everybody comes in either one by one or in small groups. And like everything that is going on is a potential powder keg in terms of people with tells, meaning somebody acts a little bit off, like everybody's watching each other. Does somebody not seem surprised that somebody got murdered? So it's a really interesting show. But the other way is that they have the round tables, which are my favorite part. So the round tables are where everybody gets together, which would be the faithfuls and the traders all get together and they get to grill one another. And people can throw out names if they think that somebody's a traitor, which is a risky endeavor because the traders, if you're throwing their name out there, may kill you. They may not want to kill you because it'll seem too obvious that this person was throwing a name out and now they get murdered. So it's a really fun game. I enjoy it, but I have to say the New Zealand first season of New Zealand, which is available on Peacock, is fucking awesome. It's like Allie and I were like, this is awesome. This is how the game was supposed to be played. Like, so yeah, next season they're doing regular people. Cameron, our 19-year-old dad, she's like, I'm filling out your application. I want you to go on. I was like, I'd love to go on. That would be awesome. Question is, I don't know if I could do the trader thing. I would feel so guilty because you do, build relationships with these people. And it is a game, but it's like you're sitting there just like lying constantly if you're a trader. And like if you get somebody who's like, I trust you so much. I would never think that you're a traitor. And then you're sitting there reinforcing it, but there's no way. I'm faithful through and through. And then you're like cutting their throat. Like at the end, because the way that it works is if one trader survives all the way through, the faithfuls don't get any of the money. They get screwed. So it's like, no, it's way better than Twitter world. Twitter is just like nightmare world. Nightmare world. So you guys, like, what do we got? Like, how many people watch traders? Like some of you, not all of you, few of you. Boy, they're fucking up here in court. I'll tell you that. I could talk traders for hours though. Let's keep going. Got a couple more. Miss Rattle, no comment as to what, which thing in general. The merch, what? Tell me. Tell me. I need to know. Thank you, Miss Rattle, for 5 pounds British. Those are British pounds, right? I always love those. I wish I could actually get pounds. That would be way cooler. Thank you so much. Trace Cooley, new member. Oh, family hug, Trace. Welcome. There he is. The handsome and brilliant judge. Berkshire girl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Not sure what my comment didn't show you guys. And Melanie are my favorites because reveal. Thank you so much, Berkshire. We appreciate that. And you're on the wheel, by the way. By the by. Darlene Ann sending love from snowy upstate New York. Love me some DD. We love you back. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for hanging with us and for your generosity. And you're on the wheel. You are on the wheel. We appreciate that. Okay, I cannot hear you, Judge.
Rest of the day.
Holy
We
shit.
will have you come back tomorrow morning, ready to go at 8:30 a.m. Between now and then, same instructions. Please do not speak about this case with anyone. Please do not allow anyone to speak about the case to you. Please do not read, listen to, or watch any reports about this case from any source. You just have to affirmatively avoid those things. Please don't do any searches on the internet about this case at all. Thank you for your patience. Please travel safe. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Please
Wow.
rise for the jury.
Damn, let me see. I want to go back and see. Like, we couldn't hear what he was saying. Damn it. Okay, so they don't have the volume up.
Rest of the day. We will.
All right. So he said it was something that these lawyers and these parties have no control over, and he's recessing for the rest of the day. There's obviously nothing we could do about it, right? There's nothing we can do about it. So crazy. Now, did I see somebody say in the chat that the schedule is so court has been recessed for the rest of the day. The judge did not get as specific as to why. We do know that it is not related to anything having to do with the Richins trial. All right, so let's see what he
We'll have you
says.
come back tomorrow morning, ready to go at 8:30 a.m. Between now and then, same instructions. Please do not speak about this case with anyone. Please do not allow anyone to speak about the case to you. Please do not read, listen to, or watch any reports about this case from any source. You just have to affirmatively avoid those things. Please don't do any searches on the internet about this case at all. Thank you for your patience. Please travel safe. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Please rise for the jury.
All right, so yeah, you didn't flush it out at all. No, plea deal? Not a chance. This has nothing to do with the lawyers, with them working. Like, the judge had something going on that was not related to this trial. There's no chance she's taking a plea.
Ms. Gibson, may I have a brief conversation with you? You don't need the bin. You can leave that there for a moment if you want. Mr. Palmer will watch over it. You can just step to the podium for a moment. I apologize for this delay. Can you be here ready to go at 8:30 tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you are still, in effect, under oath and on the stand, so you cannot confer with anybody about your testimony?
Yes.
All right. Can you follow that instruction?
Yes.
Very good. I'll see you tomorrow morning, ready to go at 8:30.
Okay.
You'll be taking that bin with you, correct?
Yes.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, anything else on the record today?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Nestor?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. The court is in recess. Thank you for your patience.
Wow. Stunner. I mean, it is very, very, very rare. Like, the judges abhor having to waste jurors' times by canceling court for the rest of the day. I mean, like, it's got to be something that was unavoidable. So I've seen questions. I mean, the state could offer a plea and she could accept the plea even after a jury's been impaneled. It's not happening, though. That's not what's going on. This has nothing to do with that. If people are speculating that it's a plea, I'm going to go ahead And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about if anybody like lawyers are speculating this has something to do with a plea, potentially, I'm going to go ahead and disagree completely. I don't think it has anything to do with it. This is completely unrelated. So we are going to obviously have to come back tomorrow. They're starting up with the actual trial at 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Central. I'll start it a little bit early. Dang. All right. Well, I was not anticipating that. I'll tell you what, Bobby, the board just ain't right. All right, let's get this up. So put this on so people don't ask while I'm yelling and screaming. All right, so here's the deal. We've got, let me check. We're not even close to hitting the goal. We're at 9 out of 30. Plus, I got multiple Venmos. Kim, as always, with your glorious 25. Whoa, the big intense 48 hours shit. All right, so we can go to Allie. I think I'll probably, when she gets back, I'm probably going to, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is pretty good. It's pretty solid. There's a couple good spots in Batavia. There's Taco Grande in Batavia, which is like you walk down some stairs, is pretty good Mexican if you ever eaten there. It is pretty good. And then Katie Scarlett, oh, love your channel, $10 Venmo. Thank you so much. You guys are both on the wheel. Holly Ann Crow, thank you for streaming this. Put me on the wheel. You are on the wheel, my dear. And then let's see. Nola's for livers. $5. Holla for the wheel. You guys are all on the wheel. So what I'll do is I'll carry everything over. I'll carry everything over till tomorrow. I'll start the wheel thing. Everybody that was on today, it'll all be carried over. I'm going to screen grab it and see what's what. All right. Okay, so I have everybody's name. There's got to be a better way to do this. Oh, I suppose I could do it on the let's see. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to like suffer through this. I gotta make sure I get everybody. I don't want to miss. Okay. And if you gave via Zelle or Cash App or PayPal, I'll get you there too. All right. Okay. All right. So Allie has no idea right now that Richins, like I'm obviously going to go hang with her unless I have to go find my dad. Like I have this horrible story about my dad last night. He went to go, like I'm going to tell it, but it scares me. So my dad went out to a restaurant last night. That's close. There's two places he goes to. My father's 80. I think like I haven't necessarily thought that he had early stages of Alzheimer or dementia, but like so last night he goes like during the stream. So if you guys remember, I went out, like two of his tires were flat. It's two front tires, which he just got replaced. So I think he was going to go back to the place he got the tires, see if they would switch them out because something's wrong with them, obviously. And then, so I think he leaves at like 4 or whenever I was messaging that I was helping him with his tire. So I come back in, and then it like when I'm wrapping up like a Zoom meeting I was having after we stream, Allison comes up here. She's like, your dad is 90 miles away. He's been driving for 2 hours because he turned the wrong way. And my dad's phone is so old that we can't put like Life 360 on him. He can't get, like, I've tried so many times to get his GPS to work. So we know where he's at. He ended up getting a hotel. We said that we would go pick him up last night. He elected to try to make the drive this morning. So yeah, it's a shitty story. It's got me worried. Yeah, that's what we were thinking. Exactly. Air tag in the car. So yeah. Yeah, not a great story, but you know, yeah, exactly. I have extra air tags too, because I've got the guy Nookie's air tagged. I've got our keys are, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So all right, so that's what's kind of going on. So this could be a blessing for me if I gotta go get my dad and guide him back. So that's that. But you guys, before I dip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer everybody over to Allie's. So just hang tight. And I really encourage you to watch that trial. If you don't know anything about it, read the description. I have a very, very thorough description of what is at stake, what the facts of that case are. It's a school shooter case that happened down at Appalachia High School in Georgia. And they're, for the first time ever, trying a parent for murder, not involuntary manslaughter, but murder. And it's a big deal. It is a big deal. It is going to change how parents are viewed and handled by prosecutors all over this country with relation to these school shootings. And I've heard the arguments on both sides of it, and I've heard compelling arguments on both sides of it. I mean, excuse me, I feel a certain way about it. I feel that he's culpable. I feel that he owes a duty to the community. I think he owed a duty to those kids in that school. I think he ignored way too much in order for me to give him a pass. On top of the fact that he buys him an AR-15 after the feds are there, whether you believe it or not, in terms of the kid saying, oh, somebody hacked my Discord. If the feds are coming to your house, or the sheriff through the feds because they got a tip, and they're asking questions about your son saying that he's going to shoot up a school on a Discord, whether or not they establish it or are able to prove whether or not the kid's thing was hacked, I am in no way, shape, or form, months later, buying him an AR-15. Sorry, I don't give a fuck what culture you're in. I don't care if you hunt all the time. I don't care what you do. There's no chance. No chance. If I'm going to take my son hunting, then you know what? I'll take him hunting, and I'll pull the guns out of the gun safe for when we're going to hunt. It's for me. I'm no one's changing my mind on it, even though I understand what's up. All right, with the arguments on both sides of it, I really do. All right, so you guys, I'm going to end this stream. I have portaled or redirected everybody to go to Allie's stream. That thing is currently going. I'm going to try to find out where my dad is, and then I am going to probably jump on until Allie gets back. But I love you, mods. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. The wheel, again, it's rolling over to tomorrow, so you're safe. Your entries are safe. That'll all come on the wheel tomorrow. I'll restart the thing. I'll make it less in terms of the number of people that we need. I'll get it all worked out. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. Sorry that this got kicked today. It's a bummer. But just remember, without you guys, just an old man talking about a lot of cases. See you later.
So